Flosstube friends, it's time for another episode. Welcome to Flossmas Day 31. 31, not 32. 31, which means Happy New Year's Eve. Whew. We are to the last and final hours, at least here in the Central Time Zone of the United States, of 2020. So, I'm going to give you a teensy bit of life update of what we did today. I'm going to show you some projects I want to work on for the remainder of 2020. I am going to open two days of my 12 Days of Christmas yarn from my local yarn shop. And then at the end, I will give you an update on my vaccine that I got yesterday. I don't want to do that. Not everybody's interested in that, so I'll do it at the end, and I'll do my farewells before. So, I guess I should say, I am Annie Joyfield Stitcher, both here on YouTube Flosstube. Flosstube is like what us Stitchers call our YouTube channels and videos, and also over on Instagram. I am so happy to have you back joining me for the 31st installment of Flossmas. Thank you so much for your kind comments on my whip parades, plural. I really enjoyed filming those. It's still a chaotic mess over in my whip shelf. I think that one of my tasks this weekend will be getting it all under control. We shall see. Tomorrow, New Year, New Start. It is not going to be what I planned to start because unfortunately my items that I ordered to come in will sadly not be here until the 4th. And I am doing a conversion on it, and I need to actually have the chart in hand to figure out if my conversion is going to work. So it will get started some point in January. My guess is that I like to start things on any day of the week, but I'm going to try to make my starts meaningful and intentional this year, like starting on a specific date. So I might start it on Joyfield Little One's birthday, which is towards the end of January. And that gives me plenty of time to make sure that my conversion is just how I want it to be. Because we're talking converting threads and beads and metallics as well. So anywho, today it has been raining. Cats and dogs all day. A lot of rain. And it's chilly. It's like 38 degrees. So it's like right on the edge of where it would be frozen versus salt, like liquid. And so thankfully it stayed liquid because we trucked over to Dallas. I am in Fort Worth, Texas. And Dallas, we went to North Dallas to the American Girl store because today was the release of the Doll of the Year 2021. And backstory, Joyfield Little One, this has been the year for her of American Girl dolls, which is perfectly fine with me. I want her to stay young and enjoy playing with dolls as long as she wants to. I played with dolls well into middle school. And so her little best friend also loves dolls. So we feel very comfortable traveling over there with them and making it a little bit of a fun activity today. Would have been better had it not been blistery cold and pouring down rain. So she got her Doll of the Year. She had, she's looked at some of the other dolls, the historical dolls and the past dolls of the year. And she really liked the doll Blair. She also really liked Mary Ellen, which is the 1950s doll. She really wants Kirsten, which is the Pioneer Times doll, but she was retired a while ago, and I don't know that she'll ever come back. I myself had Samantha as a child. So anywho, when the historical doll, I'm putting it like that because I don't consider 1986 to be a historical doll, Courtney, came out in October. She hemmed and hawed about maybe getting that doll. I'm happy she chose no, only because that doll has like ringlet curls, very 80s, which is great, except that straight doll American Girl doll hair gets very quickly. I can't even imagine with curly headed doll. I don't know. Anywho, so we've been waiting. for this doll to come out. This is the first year in a very long time that there have been 0 leaks. 0. Up until maybe last week. And somebody, I guess, got hold of pictures from the new catalog, which did actually arrive yesterday. So she looked through the catalog, decided. Well, there were speculations about it. They trademarked the name, so the name is Kira. But as to what this doll was going to look like, the backstory, any of that, that was all held very secret this year. Well, when the invitation came out to the special high-level rewards shopping experience, I fit that category, it had a, like, Outback-looking thing and a koala. And I was like, yes. Because this child loves animals. So it appears that her story revolves something around Australia, because her t-shirt says Australia. There's koalas. There's a kangaroo with a joey in its pouch. And there's a wombat. And so we got all those things. So we went early this morning. We were allowed to go in at 11. They let us in a little bit early because the people doing the special shopping experience, that unfortunately we did not get the email in time to sign up. It sold out very quickly. They let us in at 10:45. These girls were like laser focused. This. Like, kind of knew what they wanted to get. Got checked out. It was drizzling when we got there. It was pouring down rain when we were leaving. So I booked it to the car because I was the one that drove. Pulled up so everybody else could get in and get as little soggy as possible. It poured down rain the entire way home. So needless to say, my nerves are a little frazzled from the drive. Got back to our side of the town, our side back to Fort Worth. And we went and had lunch at Rosa's Cafe, which we really like. And there was no one in there. So I was okay with eating. Kept our masks on until we sat at our table. Anytime we got up from the table, we put our masks back on. We sanitized. I carried Clorox wipes in my bag, so we Clorox wiped the heck out of that table and ourselves, basically. And so, good on that. They had such a blast. Such a blast. She's worn out. She's already put on her new pajamas she got today that match the doll's pajamas. She's already put those on, and I'm pooped. I don't sit well in the car for long, let alone drive in the rain. So I'm wiped, and it's only 4:45. But that's okay. I'll live. I'll survive. So I do want to get some crafting in this evening. And I would love to put some time into a couple of projects. Maybe just a little bit of time. One I'd like to spend a little time on is You Are So Loved. This is by Cherry Hill Stitchery. I showed this in my Whip Parade, I think yesterday. I wanted to get some time in it yesterday. I did not. So I would like to get some time in it today. We shall see. I would love to spend some time on She's Happy, which is was a freebie, Be Well and Stitch. There's not much left of this one. So I really think I need to just buckle down and finish it. Maybe to like, yeah. I've spent a tiny bit of time on my 12 Days of Christmas. I'm enjoying stitching on it. So I need to put some more time into this. I am on day 2. And then I said I was going to start this full coverage yesterday. It just didn't happen. I am still putting together flosses. This is a hot mess. It really isn't a hot mess. It just appears a hot mess. But I've still got some flosses to put on. I'm carding them in advance because I don't want to keep all of this in my project bag. So I'm excited to get this one going. And the first square is almost one solid color. So what a great way to start. And this is, I'll show you. Sorry, I was on my floss list. This is Heaven and Earth Designs. This is Dakota Detweiler. And this is Hazel's World is a larger piece. And this is Quick Stitch Hazel's World Giraffe. And I love that it's got books and looks like space and a cute giraffe and a cup of hot cocoa. And so yeah, I need to work on that. Somebody had asked what kind of device I use for my pattern keeper. I used to use a Kindle Fire, but it was quite a bit older and I found it lagged a lot. So I went on Amazon and I just searched for an Android tablet And so the one that I have, it looks like this. It's, sorry, that is way wonky. Looks like this. So it's not very large. It's about the size of my Kindle Fire 7. I was going to look and see if I could find what this is even called. It's a Lenovo. Let's see. I am an Apple person. So as to where in the heck anything is, here we go. Let's see. About the tablet. Okay, so this is called a Lenovo and I found this on Amazon. TB8505F. Just gonna look and see if I can fix the brightness real quick. So it's not quite so bright. And I could show it to you. Like I said, I don't know where anything is. Brightness level, here we go. Let's turn that down briefly. Let's go back and find the system stuff. Okay. So if you can see right there, Lenovo TB8505F. It was like a really great price. And then it's just in a basic like little flip open, flip closed case. Now this is not a smart, it's supposed to be a smart case. It's not. It doesn't turn it off like it does my iPad. And then I bought some of these inexpensive styluses, like a pack of 12 of them or something, off of Amazon for a couple of bucks. And I just use this, just because, I don't know. I just do. I had them already, so I might as well use them. So I am going to start something today, I think. And this is going to be in my Diana bag. I love this. The animals in the library. And I bought, when I saw this, when I got the email about this, I bought it. And today, the first part got released. This is Lindy Stitch's stitch-along, 4-part stitch-along called Funky Menagerie. And so this is the first part. It got released today. And it says, since this is a stitch-along, feel free to choose your own colors. However, since this is a menagerie of animals, make sure you include some browns, grays, and greens in your selections. Notable animals in part 1 include an ostrich, pink robin, they're real, they're adorable, and a sparkle muffin. If you're not afraid of spiders, please look them up right now. Those dudes are fantastic. So I am excited. I think I'm missing like 2 colors, but it's not going to impede me starting. And I'm doing this on a 20 count Aida in just gray. 20 count gray Aida that I got on 123 Stitch. So yeah, I'm excited to start on that. I'm loving so far. I love the ostrich, the pink robin, this little mouse up here. It's just so cool. So cool. I love anything that Stephanie at Lindy Stitches does, and so I was happy to buy this. You can get it on her website. So go check that out. And then so I will chat New Year, New Start tomorrow. I am going to do my Friday Flosstube weekly update. However, it's going to be probably significantly shorter. Since I showed you all my projects, I'm going to basically show you what I stitched on since my Whip Parade yesterday. I will open some more of my yarn 12 Days of Christmas. And I will talk a little bit about plans. I have a couple of series that I'm starting throughout the course of the next year that I will show. And then I have a tiny bit of haul. It's probably not going to be near my lengthy video, which is fine because between the 2 Whip Parades, we were well into close to 3 hours. So my 12 Days of Christmas is an advent that I purchased from my local yarn shop, Juju Knits. It's Dye to Spin and Foxbane Fibers, and they collaborated. They called this their Advent 2020. I already had 2 yarn advents, but I wanted to support my local yarn shop. I wanted to support these 2 dyers. And I thought, well, there's 12 bags, so why not do 12 Days of Christmas? Now, I messed up, and I just randomly picked one out the first day, and it was day 5. So I already opened day 5. So on day 2, I opened 1 and 2. That meant that by the time I got to day 4, I was caught back up, but then day 5, I needed to skip. So as far as I know, and I might be wrong, I'm supposed to be opening, I think, day 6 and 7. No. Maybe just day 6. Or maybe it is day 6 and 7. I don't know. I'm just going to open 2 because I feel like it. But so far, we have this beautiful one that is I Heart New York. This is a prom dress, which is inspired by a Friends episode. This one is God of Thunder, which is really pretty. These are all just so cool. This one is Purple Bonnets. I still have not done my research on that. And then this, I believe, is Dandelion. So super fun and funky. I don't know what pattern I'm going to do these with, or if I'm going to... I've seen a really cool one that starts with a neutral, and then you use all these minis as like stripes. And I thought that could be cool. I think it's one that's in my Hitchhiker book that I got from Martina Bem. So we're going to open 6 and 7. That might be wrong, but if it's wrong, I don't want to be right. I'm going to open some yarn. All right, so day 6. Let us see what is in day 6. Day 6, day 6, day 6. If I can get these silly little knots open. There we go. Ooh, this is pretty. These bags have fuzzed all over this yarn. Because they have little, like, they have raw edges on the inside and they leave little, like, strinkly bits everywhere. Okay, so this is Fox Bane Fibers. I love the name of it. It's Chicken Duck. Chick and Duck from the Friends collection. Who doesn't love chickens and ducks? Joey and Chandler sure do, because they adopt one of each in the one with a chick and a duck. This colorway is great for summer because of the bright orangey red and warm yellow. My lighting is terrible today. Normally it's not, it's pretty bad just to begin with, but there is no light outside because it is dark and rainy. And I did get a code for another knitting pattern, either knitting or crochet, and it says quack, quack, cluck, cluck. So I will pull that up and save it to my Ravelry. I think that's a great idea that they included the little QR codes to different free patterns. I have a heart garland one. I have a shamrock one. So I like that they're small little decorative items for the most part. All right, let's look and see what is in day 7. Ooh, another bright orange. Wow. Wow. That is like a day glow orange. But look, these go well, pretty well together. Look at that. That's the beginnings of a fade. All right, this is Dye to Spin's Time to Shine. And then it says a sandal stitch marker. Wheel. Typically hers are attached. I'm not seeing it, so maybe I just didn't get one. And that's okay if I didn't. I will survive. I have a lot of stitch markers. Anywho, it says, this colorway was inspired by the amazing librarians of HEB ISD and their response to the district shutdown in March 2020 due to COVID-19. Ashley wanted to not only inspire her colleagues, but gain insight into how to continue serving the students of her district by collaborating and continuing to assist as librarians do. Throughout the shutdown in the spring, Ashley's motto was, "This is our time to shine." I love that. That's awesome. And then there's another QR code for another pattern that says Shine On. How awesome. I love that. So I will be pulling those up just as soon as I am finished. So if you have no interest in hearing about how I'm doing after my vaccine yesterday, then I'm going to give you a big old hug, bid you farewell until tomorrow. But if you would like to know a little bit more about kind of my experience and how it worked and things like that, then stick around. But let's do a hug first for everybody. Let's do one more. And then give yourself one. So if you are not interested in this part of the video, then I will say bye and see you tomorrow. If you're hanging around, so for those of you that have watched Whip Parade Part 2, that was in 5 sections. if that didn't take forever to export from iMovie and upload. I have found that the more segments there are, no matter the length, but the amount of segments, takes a lot longer to export and then obviously to then upload. So for those of you though that have not watched it, I had spoken about the fact that in my county, I am in Tarrant County of Texas, they have on their public health website a place where you can pre-register to get your COVID vaccine. My mom was the one that alerted me to it because she and my dad have already signed up. They have some underlying health concerns, and my mom is in food service. So both of them would qualify to be in, you know, the 1B, 1C category, somewhere in there. I myself, being an educator, and I have underlying health conditions, I am in 1B. So they both pre-registered, and then the instructions are wait for your phone call and it will tell you, or text or email, that will tell you where to go and at what time. It's usually a pretty quick turnaround. Like in terms of when you get the phone call, you need to be there within an hour or so of where to go to get your first dose. So yesterday, so day before yesterday, I did the pre-registering about midday. Yesterday, during the filming of my Whip Parade Part 2, I got a phone number that popped up as a local number, and I don't typically answer those, but I paused the video and I answered it. It was a voice recording that said, you have been approved to go ahead and get your first COVID. Go to this location between these hours. Know that we can run out and you might get turned away. Well, so it was about 11:15, and they said between the hours of 12 and 3. And so I finished my video. As you probably might have noticed, I got a little more nervous as the end of the video went on. I even said, oh, the nerves are kicking in now. And I'm sorry, my vest is wool and it's making my neck itch. I'm not having a reaction to anything. My vest is itchy. Apparently I'm going to develop some mall bangs today. Anybody remember mall bangs? Okay, tangent. So I was just putting on all the gear. My husband said, hey, I was running out to grab myself and little one something to eat. Can you wait a minute? I said, yeah, I've got to figure out where exactly I'm going. I need to put on clothes, like go to the bathroom, get my water, get a snack just in case, you know, like all the things. And we live right up the road from like a Wendy's or something. He was going to get nuggies, as she says, nuggies. And so when he got back, they were eating. I was still figuring everything out. And he said, do you want me to drive you? And I said, sure, because it was kind of drizzly yesterday, and I think he just wanted to be part of the process. And I also think that he wanted to make sure that when I was done, that I was, you know, in a good state to drive. I think he also thought it would take some of my anxiety away to drive me. He even said that after the fact. Like, I was hopeful that in me driving you, that would take some of your worry and your anxiety away. And I do think it did. So when I got there, I was probably 100 people back in line at least. He pulled up, he let me out, which was nice. I didn't have to walk the whole line back. And one of the workers came up and asked me if I had pre-registered. I said yes. And they asked me if I fell into, they asked me where I worked. And I told them my school's name, and they said, doing what? And I said, I'm a teacher. She said, okay. And I'm sitting here thinking, I pre-registered and they called me. Clearly, I've been cleared to come in. Now, mind you, me being the over-prepared person, I had everything they asked me to bring plus more. They had said, bring your insurance card, your driver's license, bring your school ID, which I did. I don't think that was part of it, but I did it anyway. And then I also printed out from my doctor's office a piece of paper that shows my pre-existing condition, or my conditions that would make me more vulnerable. I had it all. I was ready. And then she asked me, and I kid you not, I think my face was like, she said, do you fall into one of the two categories? Or do you fall into these categories? 65 or older, or 18 and up with pre-existing health conditions? And I went, 18 and up. I'm 40. Like, I get that we got masks on. But even if I have a mask on, do I look 65? Do I look 65 from the eyes up? Because if so, that is sad. I might cry. Anyway, she said I just have to ask it. Hi. I'm on my video. I'll be done in just a minute, okay? I'm telling about my story from yesterday. I'll be done in just a minute. Okay. Anywho, so they cleared me to be in line, and then a sheriff's officer came up and said, "Oh, are we closing the line?" She said, no, I'm counting. I said, I made it? She said, yes, you made it. Well, myself and about 100 people behind me made it. I think the worst part, the line moved quickly, but not quickly enough considering how windy it was yesterday. It was about 40 some odd degrees, but the wind was whipping, and we were standing out in this open field basically on this sidewalk, and the wind was coming. I was thankful I still had my gloves in my purse. I had my hood on. I had my big puffy jacket. I had on 2 jackets, like a loose jacket and then my big puffy jacket, because I had a short sleeve shirt on because I wanted it to be an easy situation. So I go through all the process of checking in and and I get the best person giving it to me. He's a MedStar is our local EMT service around here, and so he's volunteering his time to give immunizations. And so he had his on Monday, so he was telling me some of his background information. He was like, "You are the most knowledgeable." I said, I did my research. I had the Moderna. And then once I had it, I mean, it was very quick. I did not feel a thing. This year's flu shot stung like nobody's business. It stung when it went in. It stung. I have a high pain threshold, and most shots don't bother me, but that one stung. I give myself a shot every Monday because one of my medications is a shot. I don't have an issue with vaccines. This one, I barely felt it. It was like somebody tapped me with a pencil. And then I didn't feel anything when the medicine went in or anything. And then they have you sit in this little like holding area with chairs socially distanced, and they give you a Post-it with a time on it. And when that time is up is when you're said to be able to leave, like your wait period is over. And when I sat down, my time said 2:13. Well, I felt it was wonderful because they had a lot of people coming around. They were sanitizing the chairs. I think I was checked on 3 different times by someone asking, "How are you feeling? Are you doing okay?" I was given a lot of paperwork. One of them was for a program called VacSafe or VSafe. It's vaccination safe. And so they encourage you, if you would like to participate, in daily check-ins. And so you sign up, you state the date you got your vaccine, and then it'll ask you if you're having any symptoms. And so it's a great way for them to collect data on my age, you know, what I might already have going on, and then what my side effects might be. So I did really well. During the whole time I was in this big gymnasium type room, not a single person that I could tell had any kind of a negative reaction. I myself did not. They did have medical services on site, parked outside just in case. It was a well-oiled machine. Everybody had a job and they knew exactly. They were getting people in and out of there fast, ensuring everybody had their mask on. They were maintaining social distance even in the line outside. And I felt very secure with the whole process. From a personal standpoint, I did at one point while I was sitting there feel some of my own personal cues of anxiety. My sensory things that happen with anxiety start to ramp up. But what helped me a little bit is I was reading the paperwork at the time, and that wasn't what was causing it. It was just there was a lot of stimulation around me, and noticing what the symptoms were and the things that I was feeling, I realized had nothing to do with the vaccine itself. Felt perfectly normal. No different. So I will say at this point, I do have a pretty sore arm. Sore to the touch, not sore that I can't do stuff. I clearly talk with my hands. This is it's a little sore this way because where they did it is right here. And that's totally normal. And I get that with a flu shot every year. It's not like tetanus where you feel like you've been beat on the arm with a baseball bat for like 2 weeks. It does not feel like that. I have reported my symptoms. But other than that, the only other thing is because I'm a side sleeper, that affected me a little bit in the night. I didn't notice it at all until maybe about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that was about 12 hours after I got the vaccine. And I rolled over in the night and I went, ooh, that's a little ouchy. And I only noticed it when I would go back to that side and go, ooh, that's a little ouchy. So it's a little sore today. So we'll see. I mean, they just said take Tylenol to mitigate that. I've not had to take it today, but other than that, I feel just fine. A lot of people have reached out to me to ask, how did I get on the list? Did somebody contact me? I was proactive. So I would suggest if you are an educator, you are in kind of a higher risk category, do your research in your county or your state and see what your public health system is doing. I know that ours was kind of towards the end of this first, like, send out of everything. And they're going to be getting more at the beginning of next week. So my parents are hopeful that they will hear at the beginning of the next week. My brother is also in a higher level because of some high-risk medical stuff. So he will be getting it soon. It's interesting because somebody that works with my mom asked me today, so when are you going to stop wearing your mask? And I looked at her and I went, no time soon. Because this shot changes nothing for me. It simply gives me an added layer of protection, more so for the people that I work with, aka my kids. My students are my kids. I'm an interventionist, so I work in closer contact, and I have felt like I could not properly do my job. I will still maintain what the CDC recommends. However, I feel I'm protecting them more because none of them can get it because it's not ready for kids yet. So with that being said, if you stuck in this long and you've listened to me ramble on about this, I just thought I would share because I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I posted about it on Instagram, and I've had people reach out to me asking questions, seeing how I'm doing. A lot of people that I interact with very regularly have also gotten their first round. I also know a ton of my friends are in healthcare, and they got theirs a week or more ago, and they're all doing great. I go back end of January, like January 27th. And so I'm supposed to wait until I hear where to go because it might be a different location. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm over the moon with science. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And that will probably be the last to say about that until I get the next round. I will update on that as well. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me for the last of my daily Flossmas chats. I'm going to miss these. Kind of liked my dailies. But then again, I'm going to go craft some more. How about that? I've had some requests to show the finished craft room. It will come eventually, but I've got to get lids for my bins. And I've got to get my floss storage under control. So with that, I will wish you a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of this day, this 2020. And I will see you tomorrow for my Friday update. It will be sometime in the afternoon-ish. So with that, have a great one. Bye, friends.